Alrighty folks, we have been doing a whole lot of welding. So basically, I've kind of done the old flux under here. We did everything under the bottom. You can hear it's all stitched up. Then I could use my good welder, my gas welder. We're kind of filling in everything that we didn't weld from underneath. So wherever we can, it's all burned up underneath and into all the funky joints and stuff. So that part is pretty good. Like eventually we're going to come back in here, hit it with some sealer, and we'll seal everything up. But yeah, we got everything sort of stitched to everything. The only thing I got to do now is we got to lower it down. I got to work on this part. You can see right up here, I got to deal with this tunnel part, but I want to push the firewall so it matches up and touches, and trim this thing back just so it matches up with the top of it. So that's kind of on the to-do right now. But then we kind of have the worst of our floor done. The back won't be so bad. We'll have to figure out how to tie into all here everything, but I'm feeling what I'm going to be doing is trying to come up with a fuel tank. We got to get a fuel tank in there. I have to think things through that, well, if a guy had a flat tire, did something, the tank isn't going to drag on the ground. A few things like that. Mind you, it would never be at this state with a flat tire because this is aired completely out. It would be up ride height. I know a lot of you folks are mentioning how the bars, like how would you get over things? You have to imagine there's no air in the system. So once air's in there, it'll be up. This is just above my scrub line. Like adjust. But if you got a flat tire, a feller would be good. This thing wouldn't be dragging on the ground. That's the big one. You can't really look at it at this state because this is like aired completely out and the car will be on the ground physically not drivable. So yeah, which is okay. I think the next thing's coming up, like we'll have to do these body mounts. I want to do one here, but we're going to have to do all those diamond plate, the gusset plates before I can do the rear mount. We'll have to do some bracing, like some braces yet on the front shocks. Like these are probably fine, but needs a little bit. Anyways, yeah. We'll have to also take this chassis, flip it over, because we still got to buzz everything underneath it. I still have to put in those boxing plates up in the front. We've got to do all that stuff. Yippers. Anyways, I'm going to lower it down. I'm going to just keep trimming away slowly at the firewall until it matches up with my whatever you call this is, my tunnel, my hump. And then we'll burn that thing up, and then we'll come up with another game plan and figure out what else we're going to do here. There's no way. That'll be too high. Oh yeah. But I don't know how much of that frame a guy can take out before it gets screwed. Oh, the back of the seat is sitting on there already. But it looks so much better in there on a bench, doesn't it? I think. Then I don't have to deal with a console. Alright, well, think about this for a bit. Maybe I'll try playing with some stuff. Being a caravan seat, it's got all this garbage under here. But I can take this off and then we can save our rails so I can go forward back. It's pretty heavy frame. Maybe we can cut some of that frame. Yeah, let's try it. Let's find out here.
yeah. I have tons of headroom. I can see mint. And I have my bench seat. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, the pedals will be interesting. Oh, yeah. This is going to work good. Well, now that we got so distracted. Oh, I got something else to show you. Well, you probably already know. I kept my steering column out of the T-Bird. It's going to need a bunch of work, but... I think this steering wheel would look awesome in this car. I think I have an idea how to make it all work and still keep the swing away. Hey, that'd be pretty awesome. Oh. Way too close, but then it would like swing away. That'd be awesome. We just gotta shorten it down. I want to get rid of this. We have to revamp this thing because this is actually how the column works. Is when this thing's in park, it flicks the lever. So I have to come up with a different design for that. But heck yeah. Yeah, we gotta shorten this a lot. The reason why I like this is, well, it's got the integrated blinker in it, and it's got cruise control into it, so that'll be like super nice. And it just looks cool. Hey, doesn't that look cool? All right. What was I doing? I'm not sure. Look at that wheel. Isn't that thing awesome? Like I said, you can see there's your set and your resume, slow down. The mech looks pretty relatively simple. If I can hide it and figure that out, that would be like super awesome. Look at the seat. It's gonna work. I'm happy, super happy with that. It does flip forward so you can get behind the seat. It's even like a full bench. Like there'll be a little bit more notch out, I think. I said good. I'm happy. I want to put a little more room so it doesn't rub some stuff. And well, here. And then you can see what we cut out. I just have to brace that up. I can add steel on top because really nobody's going to sit in that hump. But that's so awesome because I do not mind upholstering a bench seat. The bucket seats are so much work to do. Hat off to you folks there too that do all of that stuff. Anyways, so we got this figured out. Basically, I've been screwing around. I don't know. I've been just distracting myself from doing the obvious here. Oh yeah, I haven't shown you. Look at that. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. But we took a trip down the VaVaVoom. He had a hood for a 35 Plymouth. So now we got Plymouth, DeSoto, Dodge. What else? We got some Pontiac in here. We got the rack opinion. I guess it'll be like Mercedes. We got some Chevy with the LS. This thing's a whole goulash of parts, man. Might be a good name for the car. Goulash. Anyways, as you can see, I was test fitting the hood. It's in such nice shape. I dig it. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. But we'll work around that. The clip needs to come back a little bit. Other than that, we're going to have to add onto the hood. Which in the big picture is not too terrible because if you do the finger math, I'm about that far away from the back and we're about almost that far away from the front. So symmetrically, I guess it would look okay, just adding to the front of the hood. Basically, I'll cut this out. We'll move this all ahead. We'll add these. This is the only thing that'll be the struggle is I'm not sure what to do here. This slides in there and holds the two hood halves together. So yeah, I'm not sure about that part yet. But whatever. That's not today's problem. So We can extend everything and figure that out later. That's not a big deal. What else we got to do? Oh, I know. What I've been trying and avoiding. Fuel tank. So I've been looking around. I can't find any fuel tanks that fit or work. I was measuring up. Some people recommended the Caprice tank. Would be awesome. Too big. And I can't find the plastic tanks. They just don't exist. I found Cadillac, but it's like 2 inches too wide for my frame. And it's just really deep and all this stuff. As much as I wanted this tank to sit low into here, I haven't done the math on it, but if I did my fuel tank into here, and this is the lowest the car would ever get other than if you're bagged out and you got a flat tire. So, I mean, this would just never happen. Well, I mean, I guess it could, but it wouldn't be driving aired out. So anyways, I'm thinking what I want to do is just build a tank. My problem is I want it to have a good pickup system so that, well, it's always got fuel. That's kind of the problem. I have a bunch of aluminum, but, well, and I'm not exactly sure how to make my sitting unit and stuff with the aluminum. Yeah, I don't know. Got a few little problems I got to figure out here. Anyways, I'm going to go gather up some of the aluminum outside and, I don't know, just start puzzling it. I've never made an aluminum tank. I've always made steel tanks, but I don't know. I got to step up my aluminum welding game, so we're going to go pick that up or grab some aluminum, cut it up, and just start making something, and we'll figure things out after. I don't know. I would like to have a pump in the tank because it would be quieter, but I don't want it to slosh. I mean, you could baffle it, so that wouldn't be a big deal, but anyways, enough babbling. Let me go grab a fuel tank or some aluminum, and I'm going to cut it up, and we'll try to build a tank. Well, did that escalate? Now we've destroyed both tanks. Things just weren't working the way I wanted, so I ended up cutting it in half, which gives me this. You can kind of see, we're on the ground. I'm going to lift it a wee bit, but it's, I don't mind that it sits, like it'll only go up when the car is actually like pancaked out, which works out about where I'd want it. I should just pull it just to see here, but it is going to go up a little bit in the back. All right, come on. Can I do this while I have you folks here? Nope. Yeah, see? When it's pancaked, the whole tank actually would lift up out of there. Gets it where I wanted. If I had it sitting squatted like that, I want to make sure I just got some room off the ground, but my bumper will be like just totally murdered into it anyway. So anyways, we got this. My plan is to somehow, not this particular one because it's broken, but I want to put just a stock GM sump like this in here, and then I will baffle it so this thing, the fuel stays with it kind of thing. And then I think I figured out how to make my own top here, because we have to make a thick aluminum ring that we weld that this thing will slide in. This rubber should just stay there. And then all we got to do is mirror the fingers that are on top of the original plastic tank doodad. So these, we have to just make a set of these so we can kind of put that locking ring on it. And I think we're golden. Should work. Should work fine. Well, I think. We'll find out. I'll have to find some, a little bit of thick aluminum there just so I can make the ring. I think before I do anything, I want to just bead roll the beans out of this thing because we may as well put a whole lot of extra strength in it if we can. And like I say, I'd like this thing when it's on the ground. It's just like an inch off the ground or so. Like right now, should be. I just don't want everything squishing down to the ground. All right. What else can we do here? Well, I guess we'll just start bead rolling. That's kind of, we'll make a plan. We'll do that. I'm going to figure out where my sump is going to go. And then we'll have to start doing some baffles. Like if I pull the top of the tank off, there's a lot of junk in there. So I got to clean all this up. My plan is I'll have the sump kind of near the back. Kind of what I'd rather it be. And then this thing kind of will hold fuel, but so it won't starve. But I have to figure out how to baffle to this thing and still run a fuel gauge. I might not even just run like the original style. I'll just get a separate sending unit. That might be better. Do that as a standard, and then it can just float somewhere. Not then I can kind of enclose this a little better. So this will hold a chunk of fuel. At least that's my idea. From there we'll have like a couple simple baffles in there, but all right. So we sort of have a game plan. Now we just got to make this all happen. It's gonna be a lot of aluminum welding. At least I'll have a lot of practice with it. Kind of the plan. I guess I'll clean up some stuff in there and we'll try out our little buffing wheel like we were doing. That should clean the inside of that thing super nice. And then I think we got enough stuff here. There should be enough out of this junk to build my sides. And then some of the other stuff to build my baffles. I think I got enough junk to do it. So I bought this and another big, like somebody made an aluminum boiler. I think for like maybe trying to heat some water or something. I don't know. Anyways, I bought it for like $20 or $30 or something. It was like nothing. I seen it, the potential of the aluminum down the road I could use because this stuff's not cheap. All right, enough babble. Let's get her going. Well, that went horribly. Actually, I welded super nice first round. Unfortunately, I welded it to the wrong spot. I don't know why. So we have my TIG. Not bad. And then we have our spool gun. Actually, I tried doing the spool gun on the inside. It's okay. It wasn't like a lot of room, so I couldn't get a good bead on there. I wanted to get a good bead because I'd like to put a piece of angle so we can kind of wedge it up and then bolt it, but I don't know. Anyways, I like the spool gun because it's fast. But it doesn't like to start stop well. So I kind of have an idea. I'm going to go over this with the TIG. There's a few spots. That's why I started high, so I know where I'm sure I'm going to get a little leak. So we'll come in there and I'll just kind of fill them. Other than that, I mean, it works good. Like, I'm happy with that. Really happy. So anyways, we did that. We stretched this. We're going to have to work on the baffle thing. Figure that out. And figure out where I'm going to put the fuel sending unit. Because, well, I don't know. We'll figure that out. I think I have a random one that I'll just use. Whether it's right or wrong, I'll probably still use it. Yeah, it's one of these. It's probably like a 0 to 90, or no, this is like a newer style, like a 240 or something. But it is like a universal sending unit. So we'll make that one work for the one side, and then the whole fuel tank part won't matter. That was our dangle. There's still more parts in there. Oh no, just instructions. Cool. Right, pup? So anyways, we'll mock it up with this. I'll just figure out how to do a sending unit to this thing. That'll be the plan. So that'll be that. You don't want that really in the baffle world. Ideally, you would want it side to side, because if it's front to back, I find when the fuel sloshes, your gauge will start dancing. So if possible, I can run it side the tank this way. But I'm not too worried. It'll kind of still do the same thing, I guess. We will figure it out. We'll stuff it on one side or the other. And then we'll figure out that pump. Even though that pump won't work, we basically need to make a hat about this big to be able to put that in. I got to dig around, see if I have a really thick chunk of aluminum. For some reason, I think I do. Like it's like a weird piece of I-beam or something. I'll have to dig around here, see if I can find it, cut a big old chunk out of it, and run it through the lathe so I can put the top part on. I don't really know where to look, but I think I'll have some supper first, and then we will dig around for that. I can't imagine I would have thrown something like that away. Otherwise, I don't have any thick aluminum. All right, folks. Quickly stuck the body back on the car. We are just test fitting, seeing how things look with the sheet metal on. It's looking good. It's a little there. That's more, well, that's not right height at all, but as long as we stay below the scrub line everywhere. We can lift the front of the tank up a bit, but I kind of, like I say, because the car is always going to be a little tail draggy kind of thing, so that way the fuel will shuffle to the back where I want to put the pump. And yeah, I kind of mocking it up because my end plates I made didn't fit right, so we'll have to chop these back up. And I got to narrow the tank up a little more. They're both bent the same way, so these may turn into baffles. And we'll cut some other ones. We'll bring the car down, see what it looks like in the trunk. My goal was to have it low enough that I don't have to do anything crazy with the floor. I will have a weird hump because of my fuel pump, the way I did that now, but we can always flow that like in the back off to the side. Might change the plans with the air compressor, the tanks and stuff like that. I don't know yet. We'll see, but my goal was to kind of have them hovering over top of the fuel tank, but like on the floor into that back section of the car, that was kind of useless, but we'll see. We'll have to see when we get there. All right. So from the inside, you can see my plan was right. I can lift the tank up a little bit more because you can see I'll probably keep the original floor, which could probably get me another inch or two up, like from here. I bet you I can get it about that much higher if I wanted. Because I don't mind that the floor's that high. I'm okay with. We'll have to figure out a way to strap our tanks, but the back I'd like to leave. Well, I guess I can go up if you think about it, where it's all sitting everywhere else in the car. I think it might be fine. All of these corners. So I guess we could raise the tank up a little bit. Could make it bigger, but it already holds like plenty of fuel. We don't drive that long. I like to take lots of breaks and stretch when we do like road trips and stuff. So kind of keep maybe I'll go up. It doesn't hurt to have the tank up higher in my eyes. But that said, I might not be able to do anything, and the top of the tank might actually fit under the floor too. So there's two things to this. But we'll set it on the ground with the sheet metal, see what it looks like. So I think this would be what I would call tail dragger stance if I was to let my air out of the bags and try to drag my bumper, but I think the car would not even be sitting this low if I had the bumper on the back, because that car would hang quite a bit further, if you know what I mean. We still got air in the front, so that's there. When the front goes down, it goes up, so there's plenty of room. I think I'll just leave it. I still have to hunt around, find some more. That big plate, I can't find it anywhere, but it might be out on my steel rack outside. But anyways, we kind of test fitted the sheet metal a little better. We got the mounts up. This is where it's at. It's a little more than I thought. I kind of tilted the nose of the grill down, but it does look better with more angle on the grill. But it makes this weird hump up here. Then this, instead of being square, ends up getting fat and coming down. So we might have to do a bunch of work elsewhere on here. But I think I can lay it down a little bit more. But it does make this a little odd. It's almost right that this car, this DeSoto, may have been like a straight 8 car maybe, because the sheet metal into these corners, they have those little extension pockets. So maybe they just lengthen the front sheet metal that way for the bigger motor. I don't know. But we'll make it work. We at least got something to work with. That's kind of the idea. Anyways, this video's kind of run on a little bit. I know you folks like the longer videos, but I still have a lot of work to get that fuel tank to fit and work. And yeah, I spent more time farting around and kind of fitting the seat and stuff, but that's super nice that we're going to be able to use that. I'm pretty pumped about that. I don't think the body's on there right. She might have to go ahead. We might be able to keep scooting this sheet metal back. Judging by where my shifter is. My back wheels, I don't know, they're kind of right. Mind you, they could go if I full skirt it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We'll have to lift it up again and make sure my body mounts are sitting right. Then we'll know where everything sits. Anyways, I'm babbling on. I have things to fart around with. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it. I want to thank you folks for watching. And we will catch you on the next one. Most likely we're going to get that fuel tank done. That needs to be done, and then we're going to finish the back floors. I think that's the goal. Anyways, later folks.